Start your engine.
Welcome to Jack Dodsons Racing Insider News. You got Jack Dodson, Scott Allen. We got Camden Testerman. And I don't even know your name off the top of my head.
You don't even know my name. My name's Reese Nobles.
Reese Nobles. We got Reese here today. We got a nice show going on today. We've been laughing and talking a lot so far.
You missed the good part of the show, the part that wasn't even here. Well, what's up, man?
What's up?
I don't know. You tell us.
I don't know, man.
How's things going with the arena car?
It's been a little rough lately. You know, we had a good start off to the season with a win in the top dog, and I'm slowly falling behind Cody in points, so it's kind of getting aggravating.
Well, I heard you were probably one of the only guys that can hang with Cody.
I mean, we got Scott coming there every so often, and Travis running their last race, which he's not going to be running anymore this year. That's scheduled, and we got Murphy coming in this past race, and it's I think top 6 qualifiers were within the 10th, so it's getting a little harder out there.
And you made a comment just a minute ago that kind of worried me. You said we need Scott to come back because you didn't want to be the only one entertaining everybody.
Yeah.
Well, he likes a good laugh.
I'm trying to make a show for the fans, bringing a crowd. If it's getting a little boring out there, I got to spice it up,
So I'm not going to see you going backwards on the track.
No. I mean, that's my excuse to my crew chief Jason. Like, what was that for? I say, trying to make a show for the fans. So.
Hey, I'm with you on that.
It's pretty good excuse. It's worked every time so far.
Now, what's different from last year to this year?
This year I got my crew chief Jason. He's actually doing everything like maintaining the car for us and making all the calls. It's actually been working really well. I mean, we struggled in the A-main a little bit last race, and he picked it up right there, knew what to do with the car, and I think we ran the fastest lap just getting caught up in an early wreck. So, and it's been a good setup for the car.
So where's all this aggression coming from? You've really been you really doing great. You're doing a whole lot better than what I see. You're out there being aggressive.
I just wanna give a good year to the whole team because I got a lot of people working on the car helping us out. I think we got 6 people helping me out, and I'm actually the only adult driver that's running for Jason this year. And I just want to keep up the good legacy he's got going with him helping Scott win a championship. And I really want to I just want to try to beat Cody. I still haven't beat Scott like one-on-one up front, and it's got to be my goal this year.
No, man, I think you're definitely getting there. You're pretty close. You're fast. I think it's just experience is really the probably the biggest key. And it's hard to beat Cody and Scott. Just the experience alone that they got.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's just those 50 laps I got to put together. I can do it in qualifying. I can get a good lap out there, qualify either first, second, third. I just got to get those 50 laps continuously. And I'm having a problem where I hear Jason on the radio telling me my mistakes. It just goes right through me. I'm so focused on everything going on around me.
Your mom said you do that at home too.
She gonna get a headset for home for you.
Yeah. Yep, she's actually got Jason on speed dial in case I mess up. Yeah.
Oh, that's not good at all.
Yeah, but you got one of the best guys out there, Jason. I mean, he's got a ton of experience. He knows what the car needs, and I think, like we were talking earlier, some of the things that you've learned from Jason obviously has helped tremendously. And I think it's just probably just the amount of laps. I mean, God knows how many laps does Cody and Scott Perlman got. I mean,
yes, sir. Yeah, and like,
thousands and thousands of laps probably.
He's Scott, when Scott ran and he won the championship, he helped Scott for a couple years,
and
he's ran against Cody. He knows where Cody's weak. He knows where I can get him, how I can move him out of my way. And I've actually just figured out, like, Cody's car cannot handle when someone's on the outside of him as good. And it wasn't, like, last year I figured that out, and I was actually behind someone. I think Mckim was on the outside of him, and he held it, and I think he got the position there. So his car's not handling so good when someone's on the outside of him. So really, all you got to do is
needs the whole racetrack.
Yeah. I actually noticed that. Like his car, if you look at it enter from any other perspective from any other car, it's so wild looking, like the way it rotates. But his car always carries to the top of the track every single time. And like if you look at me or Scott or Travis, we stay a little bit lower the way we enter the corner. And I try to drive like Cody, but it's just not my driving style and not working with the setup. But I learned from Scott. When I first year in the youth, that's when Jason was helping Scott. and he taught me how to enter the corner of the line, what I do with the throttle pickup and all that. So I got to thank him a lot for that.
Scott Perlman would have had a couple championships, well, at least one more,
Oh yes.
if somebody in this room didn't wreck him.
I knew where he was going.
And I wasn't talking about you.
I think Scott's finished second in points plenty of times. From what I heard.
Yeah, he had one championship pretty good there. It just didn't last that long.
Yeah.
What can I say?
All right, now you went out, and I know your mom owes me. I just let you know because she didn't tell me when you were going out there to do the dirt car. You know, I wanted to come out and watch you do the dirt car. But tell us about the dirt car experience.
I want to know, what was the first couple of laps like?
It was just a weird feeling because that horsepower. If you just touch that throttle, that thing picks up like
A couple more than the arena car.
Oh yeah, and I actually had to learn that when you get back in the throttle to the corner. I had to ease on the throttle. Unlike an arena car, you stomp the throttle to get back into it because it would just kick you around. And I'm nosing into the infield every time. And it was just a weird experience. I've never really turned right on anything I drove. And there's actually a difference for arena car is you can't really correct yourself. Like, you can't overcorrect it, turn right, or it's going to really cost you. And I had to learn that from going into arena car from go-karts. And this is just a whole new ball game for me. And I really like it. I can't wait to get back in it. You know, it's kind of sucks that I got to wait all winter and spring. And
Do you feel like you'll be so much... the adjustment will be easier this year because you've gotten a few races under your belt last year and you kind of know what to expect going in?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I actually, my last race at Saluda, they feel like I was better than the equipment I had at the time.
You're going to have to quit calling me sir because I'm starting to feel old here. I'm not in Jack's league, right?
Boy, doesn't to me also.
Yeah, and we had bad springs on it. We got some new springs and all that, so I feel like we're going to have a good year, hopefully get Rookie of the Year, and hopefully gain some sponsorship. And I just want to look good out there, have some fun while I'm doing it at this age, and I just can't wait to get back into it.
But the one sponsor you got's not stepping up, or?
No, sir. No, I actually don't have any sponsors right now, so.
Yes, you do.
Well, yeah.
I'm like, there's some plumbing company I noticed that's out a couple of dollars.
Yes, you do. And don't forget where that comes from.
There you go, slow it down. You heard it goes in one ear out. He's got one earbud in. See, when he listens on the radio, one earbud.
It can really be bad if you forget that sponsor. That whole thing can just be pulled right out from under you.
Yes,
I don't know. I think that sponsor's hooked just as bad as he is.
No, So anyway, where are you going to be racing in the dirt car? When's the season start? Give us some lowdown on this thing there, because I want to be there. Because your mom's not going to tell me.
We're gonna be full-time Saluda, run every single race as much as possible, and we got real lucky that arena car and the dirt car is not running into each other with dates, and I will be hopefully doing Dixieland sometimes. I want to get that track as good as that possible. I think I did pretty good towards the end of the year getting used to it because that's such a small track. You gotta be so easy with the throttle, and it's the complete opposite of Saluda, where it gets drier as the night goes. And you gotta be a whole lot smoother, like an asphalt late model more like. And the Saluda, as it gets wetter and all that, so much moisture in the track. And I typically like that more from the experience I've had so far. And it's weird because at Saluda I only burp to go in the corner, and they say you can go full throttle once you get the line perfect. And I haven't got there yet. I'm just a little nervous.
So was Dixieland the first place you went to?
Oh yes, sir. I went there I think 4 times. And then we went to Saluda twice towards the end of the year.
All right, tell us. I mean, he asked you what it was like the first couple of laps, but what was it like when you went to Dixieland? Dixieland to me is different than any place I've ever been before, as far as a racetrack.
It was
because if you miss 3 and 4, you're gonna have a wet track.
Yeah,
be in the pond.
I can't remember. Yeah, Gator Pond I think is what they call it, and it's right off 3 and 4, and they say they've seen a couple people go down the ditch. I think actually someone went down at the last race I raced there, and I didn't see his car till the end of the night, and that was a little scary for me.
Yeah, how nervous were you in your first race?
Even at Saluda, I had a lot of butterflies going through me. It's so different. Like I've never really had a shift at all. It's just learning that was hard enough, but I was more worried about coming off the track downshifting because I messed up one time. I forgot what I broke in it, but they weren't so happy with me. So, and it was just a weird experience. You know, it's such a small track, and it is different from any track. I watch a lot of videos of all tracks around the United States, and it's just has that little character to it. It's not as banked as you would think it would be for such a small track. And you gotta be real good with the throttle. It's all about throttle control throughout that track. It's so easy to overdrive.
I went down there one time for the fall classic they used to have at Dixieland. The guy was in a mini stock. Went down, got into 3 and 4. We didn't see him. We saw water fly up, and then he come back up the other side.
Yeah, it's a fun experience watching the sprint cars down there. I watched them I think twice, and you got a good little crowd for them. I think they had about 15, 16.
So who owns the car and who's?
Well, my dad owns the car, but same thing. We got Jason helping me. I got John Walker, Justin Walker, Britt, and I got a lot of people helping me. A whole Cobbs Creek crew is helping me. John Stain. I don't know how long he's been doing, but I know it's a long time. And he's helped me a lot, and I can't thank him enough for it. And it's a little scary going out there with them in the same class at Dixieland. We're in separate classes at Saluda, but since Dixieland's such a small track, we're in the same class division. So it's a little nerve-wracking out there with them.
Now, do you touch anybody? Do you touch each other in the dirt car?
I have, yeah. If you've seen some pictures after I've been in a wreck. Actually, I remember my last race at Dixieland, I passed, I think, 2 cars, and I think I was around 6th or 7th, and I overdrove going in the corner, and I was about to rear end them, and I panicked and brake checked it and spun out in front of someone, and they creamed me, so. Yeah, he was not too happy about that, my dad.
You mean the car owner? Was that your dad or the car owner?
Oh.
So when you're on the track, there's 2 different people. Dad and car owner.
Yeah.
Okay. So which one was that got upset with you?
Car owner.
And then what happened when you got home?
Dad came out and he was still kind of mad. Yeah, but I actually was too scared to go home, so I stayed there with my friends for a go-kart race there that next day. That's actually a good track to go to for go-karts. It's actually a real tough track to drive. Yeah, I had a little.
That the first time you run? Because you raced dirt a lot, right? In the karts.
Yes, sir. Yeah, since I was 5.
Did you run Dixieland before?
I ran there once. It was for Mid-Atlantic race. It's a big Maxxis series, and they went there once. And no, it wasn't a Mid-Atlantic. It was a VDKA. It's a state series, and I finished 3rd and 1, and the other one I got a DNF. I got punted into the hay bales, and I think it ripped up the chain guard and all that. So.
Now, did you ever run Williamston?
No, I've actually been there to watch.
I heard it's crazy.
Yeah.
So they had like 700 cars showed up this weekend.
Yeah, but I knew it was a cold weekend for them. And actually, my buddy Tim O'Connor won down there in the senior champ. So I was glad to see that. Actually, his dad did my tires and all that, helped us set up the kart. And I actually really want to get back in go-karts just one time, but it's so hard to get back into it. They keep advancing in tires, engines, and everything.
Yeah, I heard with Williamson, you just go in the corner and punt whoever's in front of you and just keep going. Yeah. I was like, really? He's like, you got to come do it one time.
And you don't run off track, there's your walls. Yeah, actually, I ran the Key in the Concrete. That was a little bit, a couple months back, and that's a real crazy track. It's inside the Greensboro Coliseum. All they do is pour Coke syrup all over the track. I think we run about 5
that's
to
flat
6.
As hell.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
5 to 6 second laps, and
dang,
it's a little scary. I actually had a little trouble there 3 years ago, and I had little turtles, little saucers, and they have there, and I clipped those a couple times, and I had the fastest car at all race. I came to the field 4 or 5 times, and it's actually got a lot of views on YouTube. I think it's got about 20,000, 30,000. So.
That's pretty good.
You'll have to figure out why at the end.
No, it was a good thing.
Yeah, but I actually raced against Gray Galding in that race, and I kind of.
You beat him? I
spun him out one time. So. Yeah, but I clipped him right in the rear end.
I see a little bit of a pattern here. I said you had trouble this past weekend. Your dad got mad when you wrecked the car. You spun Greg Galding.
I'm here to have fun.
So when that, so that thing that comes out, that Nascar, I mean that arena meme thing comes out when they say about you making everybody mad?
That's pretty accurate.
Did you go to Scott Allen School?
I will say we always had fun. Though. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we picked on each other a lot, which is half the fun.
When I found out he wasn't racing, I was like, man, who am I gonna hang out with? Pick on now?
Right.
Who's gonna pick on me? Well, I got plenty of people doing that now. I'm gonna pick on me.
You went out there and wrecked a couple guys and said, well, "This is where we're gonna start being friends, right?"
Yeah. Well, actually the first race of the season where I won the top dog, I can't remember where I finished in A main. It was either like second or third. I was about the only one out there that didn't have a scratch on my car. I was real shocked. I led the whole thing in the top dog, started pole and kept it out there. So yeah, I know Cody had a little trouble getting to the field, made little enemies and all that.
Yeah.
Cody.
Cody made an enemy?
I guess they squashed all that.
Yeah, I mean it's a little rough into the field. I had a couple incidents trying to get through the field. Just actually like when I rode behind them, me and him were fooling around on the starts. Me and him started first and second, and we couldn't get a start at all. So they finally just put us both to the rear after 20 tries. And we came to the field within like 10 laps, and we finished first and second still. And it's a little rough into that field. I could tell he was a little mad, so he was overdriving and trying to get by people and all that. So I just let him bulldoze the way through there and just follow him. So
Now, does Manny reel you in trying to get through the field? Because it can be frustrating to get through the field because you feel like you're faster than these cars. You just need to get to the front. And it's hard.
Yeah, the key thing is he tells me keep calm. You have 50 laps, and just pace yourself. And it's the hardest thing is even if you tap someone they go around, you go to the rear right with them. So you got to be as gentle as possible. And I'm learning how to pass them, like nudge them in the corner and keep them from spinning out. And I'm getting the hang of it. You just gotta. That's where experience comes in. Mm-hmm. And
yeah, see that part I didn't have.
Yeah.
I know one race. I don't know how many times me and Nickens I wrecked him. I don't know how many times because he was making it so hard for me to get by. And I was like so much faster. I'm like, dude, if this was somebody behind me, I'd just let him go. But he raced me, and I ended up wrecking, or we'd touch, and somebody wrecked, and I'd go to the back, and he'd put him right back in front of me. I'm like, I said, you can tell him I'm gonna keep wrecking him until he just gets the hell out.
Yeah, I was a little mad when I was coming to the field. Jason Maines pulled over and let Cody go by, but he would stay in front of me. He wouldn't let me go by. So I went in the next corner, didn't let off at all, pushed him all the way through the corner. Next thing you know, he went right up the track, next corner. So, I mean, you just got to show them that you're there. I mean, you just got to gain some respect, not wrecking them, just letting them know you're there. And that's what I'm trying to do my best is show them I respect them, and hopefully I'll gain their respect.
Well, I think people do respect you. I mean, they may not like some of your choices you'll make, but I think so far as they respect you. Yes. And that's all you can ask for.
Yep, and I'm not trying to make enemies out there. I mean, I'm trying to have fun. I want to win a championship, and I don't want anyone coming at the end of the year like Scott did. I'm going to keep a clean slate.
Yeah, because somebody like me will.
So you've got that in your mind that there may be somebody like him out there, right?
Yes, sir.
They wait till that last race to give you that little bit of payback?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, you got to remember who ain't got nothing to lose, and I will always have nothing to lose.
Yeah, you also got to keep a cool head out there. Don't let one little incident get you hot-headed. And next thing you know, be overdriving the car trying to get.
Have you had that problem?
Yes, I've been hot-headed. You can tell me jerking the wheel, trying to heat my tires up. You can tell when I'm pretty mad. I was mad at myself last week because I was running second and I wrecked myself trying to get by a lap car. And Jason, the key thing is told me keep cool. You got about 15 more laps, try to get up front. And it worked. I got up to second or third, and I overdrove it one time and fell back to fifth. So it was just me trying to catch that leader so fast because it's so easy to overdrive them. And I've learned that also. I ran go-karts and I ran these tires called ELs. They're a whole lot harder tire, but you got to be so much smoother to the corners with them, and it's so easy to overdrive and trying to catch up to the person in front of you. So you got to keep cool.
Now, do you think the karts helped you go into the arena car? Because I'd imagine they're kind of similar to the point where you got to be ultra smooth and not turn the wheel as much because you're scrubbing speed.
Yes, sir. Yeah, at the end of the go-karts, we started running bigger races, and it's all about consistency, smooth to the corners. And it helped me by going in there. I'm not afraid to hit the throttle. I know a lot of people, their first time getting in arena cars is their first time getting in anything. And that key thing, I wasn't afraid to get in there. And actually, my first youth race, or I qualified pole. So, I mean, I just wasn't afraid. I was able to get that. And just showing respect to other drivers. You know, and that like I'm trying to I'm like a personality at track, like not just hanging out. Like if I see you, I'll talk to you for a good 5 minutes. Like I get distracted. He told me to go get a tool on the other side of the place, and I'll be talking to every single person I'll walk by.
That's just like me. No wonder we get along so well. I don't know how many times JT would come over and
He said people like him.
He'd come over and grab whatever I was going to go get, and then 20 minutes later, he's like, "Thanks." Like,
I remember.
You can't walk through the garage without hearing about talking 10 conversations, you know.
I remember it was like the last race of the year, and Jason he was messing with my head, and he told me to go get something called a skyhook. There's nothing called a skyhook. I was walking around that place for an hour and a half asking her, "You got a skyhook, man? You got a skyhook?" Everyone knew about
That is
it.
hilarious.
And, I'm just trying to be helpful. That's the last time I tried to do that for him.
They just tried to get rid of you and all that.
Yeah, they were. That is funny. I'm going to have to ask Jason.
Well,
about
Reese,
that.
you're sitting down there being awful quiet.
I was about to say something. I mean, I think his biggest advantage is he's just a cool customer. You don't get mad. I've never seen you mad.
Yeah, I mean,
Now, wait a minute.
Wait,
I've only been there a few times, and I've seen.
It's his first year.
Well, I haven't seen
no,
you mad. I haven't seen
I
you
try
mad.
to keep a cool head, like when I get out the car, show all the like fans watching and other drivers. And
Tell him that.
I was kind of mad at myself, and he told me this after I got in a wreck at the Top Dog. I said something I shouldn't have said, like about respect and all that, and he told me, and I couldn't do anything about it because I've already said it over the announcement. So I try to keep a cool head. You can ask Jason, my spotter, or my last year's spotter, Josh Burnham. I get a little hot-headed after something, like, or if they don't pin me in the right position, I get real mad. And you can see it. I'm sitting down on the concrete or keep going back in position. You know.
I've seen you when you were mad.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen you down there when you were mad. But then I saw you get out of the car and walk off, and some little girl walked up to you, and you weren't mad no more.
All right, then.
I mean, I actually saw that with my own eyes.
That's probably true, yeah.
What you turn red for? I didn't really. I was just
Ain't
making
no
a
problem
statement.
to it. It is true.
Yes, sir, yeah.
That was a good one.
Shut him right up, dude. Look at him.
And usually he's got a ton of say.
Yeah, I mean, I know, like, Jason's really hard on me, and I like that.
Yeah.
You know, he tells me all my mistakes, and he's not mad at me, he's just frustrated for me. He keeps telling me, and I understand that. And it's just, I want to do good for him.
Yeah, he'll tell you you're a tard in a minute.
In other words, you can take the criticism and everything from him better than you can your dad and your mom. And
yeah, I love criticism. I want to know what I'm doing wrong. Like, I wouldn't mind if Cody comes up to me and tells me that
Is this the right kid?
I don't know.
I mean, it depends who it's coming from. I mean, like, Cody, Scott, Travis, if they want to criticize what I'm doing, like, you're doing this wrong, maybe you adjust. Like,
But that's helpful, though.
Yeah,
I mean, they're not really criticizing you. They're trying to help you.
Stein came up to me, his brother, he came up to me and told
I'm
me
gonna go around
maybe-
and ask everybody. Now, ain't nobody tried to help me. I'm gonna go around and ask everybody why. Why'd they help Cameron?
And he told me,
I think we can figure that all out by ourselves.
I was a little mad at him telling me this, but I realized it actually would help me. I had such a loose car. I've never really had a car, the back end kick out before I get halfway through the corner. And he told me, just don't tap the concrete every time. And I've always tapped the concrete. And that frees the car up.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me, I watched you when you're behind Scott, and you taught him that you weren't touching the concrete at all. And I was a little frustrated, like, I've always hit the concrete. What is he talking about? And it actually helped me out. And, also Jason got the car a little tighter, so I got to run my line. But I know what to do if the car's a little loose to run that line.
It's kind of hard to tell if you're barely touching it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really easy to touch it too much,
It
too.
took me a while to get used to it because you can easily flip those cars. I know I got it on 2 wheels. I thought I flipped it in the top A main race. I saw the wall directly. I got a little scared there. I don't know how to flip. I really don't. I haven't flipped a car in a while. Let's keep it that way. So.
I was just going to say, have you flipped over?
Not,
I mean, I know your dad
has.
has.
Not last year either.
Not yet this year.
No, I want to keep that way. Especially, I don't do it by myself. If I do it, I want help. So.
You just
I can
don't
blame
Well,
myself. I
yeah.
can blame it on
Normally,
myself.
you're going to have some help for the most part.
Yeah. Hopefully, it'll be too fast for anyone to get on a bumper. So, and I know Scott or Cody won't flip me, especially on purpose. But mistakes happen. But I feel like they're so used to it, they won't.
Now you know you just jinxed yourself, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I know. I mean, I jinxed myself. I've said this since the beginning of the year. I haven't hit the wall or wrecked in practice at all last year or this year. I stopped for a wreck.
Of course.
I stopped for a wreck, and my teammate actually rear-ended me real bad, but nothing that I could have prevented.
Is the racing any better now that Scott's not there? I mean,
I kind of wish he was there because cautions usually come out more often, so I can take a little breather, but
Catch your breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was good for something.
well, it's good to know that he gets the break when you're there.
Yeah, it's a little tough, 50 laps, and actually, my first 2 years there, all A-main's full of nothing but experienced people, and it was really hard for me to get A-main, but the past 2 years I've A-main every single race, but there's at least like some people that are borderline each time they switch off, and they usually help bring out some caution, so I pray for them to do
some of the guys that really should be in the back of the field sandbag to get in the B main, and then so that puts some people that really don't belong in the A main in the A main.
I like what they're doing. They actually took out qualifying, and they have 3 practices, and the fastest time at all 3 practices is your qualifying. So I like that they're not able to sandbag unless you really don't want to see how your car's doing. But I really like that. The only thing I don't like
it saves a bunch of time too.
I'm usually top 3 every time, so I have to go to the scales every single time. So it's just a little nerve-wracking.
So what do you think about this new time frame they've got going on with the arena races? I've heard a lot of, I'm not happy with the afternoons. How's it work for y'all?
It messed up my sleep a little bit, but it's kind of hard getting up.
That wasn't even what I was asking.
We see where his priorities are.
Like I'm coming home and it feels like midnight, but it's only 7 o'clock, and I want to go sleep, and I wake up 4 a.m., 5 a.m. And I usually sleep on the way to the track anyway, so it's not really bothering me. But it feels like you don't really see a day of light at all, and you're in a Coliseum all day, so you really can't tell what's happening outside. And I really can't tell a difference, but I do prefer the night races. I've never really, and actually the crowd picked up this past race for the first day race.
Yeah.
And,
That's good.
I think it was one race, the first race they did, it was a Christmas parade on the same day, so
Yes.
it messed up
that messed up everything.
yesterday, and it's been picking up steadily, so I'll see what he do with these next couple races, because they're undecided. I know this one is a 3 o'clock race, so it's a day race. And I'll see what the crowd is doing. Hopefully, I want to try one more night race, compare the crowd there. Make sure nothing's going on around the area.
Oh, I know the final race of the season is a night race.
A night race. I know last year they had a Thursday race too. The same weekend as the Richmond race.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. See, you can't do that this year because you have the short track showdown.
Yeah, and I wasn't a fan of that. I had school.
Yeah.
And the next day, I don't mind getting out of school early. Don't get me wrong. I like Friday race, but not when I have to go to school the next day. So.
Well, I wasn't expecting that answer about the race being earlier in the day and to mess your sleep up. That kind of just threw me there. All right, we're going to take a break from you right now. Let you get your breath. We'll talk to Mr. McCall here.
3, 6, 9, 2.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Jack Dodsons Racing Insider News. This is Buzz McCall.
It's Buzz Mckim.
How you doing?
Doing fantastic. How about yourself?
We're doing wonderful up here. A little cold, but we're hanging out pretty good. So how's everything going down there, getting ready for the big induction?
Yeah, we're getting everything in order. We're in the process of developing the new memorabilia cases that go with each one of the 5 inductees, and redoing the Hall of Honor and bringing in cars that are related to the inductees, and we call it job insurance. Well, we're going to be launching it. Let's see, the induction is a week from Friday, January 22nd at 8 o'clock. And if you're not there in person, there's still some tickets left. But if you're not there, it's also going to be broadcast live on NASCAR Sports Network. And we're pretty excited about the whole thing.
Yeah, Scott and I are going to be down for that. We're really excited about being there. It's my first time being at the hall, and I can't wait to get there. And I'm a relative of Curtis Turner, so I'm got a double reason to be there.
Very cool.
So I'm really excited about being there and being a part of that this week, next weekend.
Yeah, Curtis was one of a kind, that's for sure.
Yeah, we had Humpy Wheeler on here last week, and he kind of let us know that he was a different type of person.
Yeah, most definitely. He lived life on his own terms. lived by his own rules. Maybe was a little bit reckless, but he always put on a heck of a show, and everybody loved him.
Now, what all do you do there at the hall? I've heard you've been called the curator or whatever there, getting everything together. What are your duties there?
Yeah, my job actually, the official position is historian, and I'm the guy who goes out and finds everything that goes on display in the hall. I develop exhibits, like right now we're getting ready to launch a major exhibit right now in our Great Hall area, which is the 50 years of racing the 50-year history of Penske racing. Mm-hmm. And so we had to go dig up all that sort of thing. And like with the Hall of Honor, everything that goes in the cases, all the trophies and memorabilia and the cars and things, that all has to be dug up and found. And I've got to deal with a lot of people in that regard. And then I get to write all the copy for every artifact that goes in, and answer a ton of questions. I settle bar bets and radio contests too.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people that don't know it, they have to look at you to get those answers.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So
but it's really a lot of fun though.
So how did you get involved with the Hall of Fame, and where did you get started in racing to get to that point?
Well, I was actually born into racing. I was originally from New Jersey, but I got out before it rubbed off, and spent most of my life in Daytona. We moved there when I was a kid, and my dad owned cars that ran in the old sportsman and modified division of NASCAR back in the early 50s. And then we got involved in the local scene around Daytona. I had a dirt tracker for a while when I was in high school. Thought it would help me get girls. That didn't work out. But it was fun, though. And my dad was the announcer. And I don't know. We just, my brother and I both were nuts for the history of the sport, and we devoured everything we could find. Living in Daytona, we got to meet an awful lot of the racing greats. And I ended up going to work part-time with the archive department at Daytona Speedway. I had a commercial art business in Daytona along with a commercial sign business, but things were getting kind of thin. So in the late 90s, a friend of mine who ran the archive said, "Hey, I need a little help with NASCAR's 50th anniversary coming up. You want to work with me part-time?" I said, "Heck yeah, get a steady paycheck, that'd be great." And so then in September of 2003, NASCAR comes over and says, "Hey, we need somebody to run our historic database and to deal with statistical services." So I said, "All right, well, we can give it a shot." So then here in 2005, the opportunity came along to get on the committee that NASCAR put together to find the location for the NASCAR Hall of Fame. So we did the 5-city tour, and my boss, Jim Hunter, said, "You're the only guy around here that knows all that old stuff, so you need to be working with the Hall of Fame." So I said, "Well, cool." So originally, I was going to stay with NASCAR, and I would be the guy who was in charge of content for the Hall of Fame. Now, the Hall of Fame is owned and was built and is operated by the city of Charlotte, North Carolina. But then they decided, no, we need a historian. And they said, "Well, you look like you're probably the guy that would be good at this job, so you got to leave your job in Daytona, and you have to move to Charlotte." And so we thought, well, I don't know, that's a pretty big move, but we thought we'd give it a try, because if we didn't, we'd always wonder, what would it have been, Yeah. So my wife and I agreed, let's go to Charlotte. So we've been here about 9 years now. And a lot of this is just being at the right place at the right time, but being ready for the opportunity. And, by studying the sport. And I'm probably the luckiest guy in the world, actually.
So how do you go out and get the things that you need? I mean, do people let you know they've got certain things and you go out, or do you go out and search for it yourself?
Yeah, well, I've been around the sport so long, I know a lot of people, and there's a heck of a nice network there, and somebody knows somebody who knows somebody. So also from the time I went to work there at the hall when it was still a parking lot, I've been putting together a database, and anytime anybody contacts us about anything that they might have, we load their information into the database. If we're looking for, a fender off of Buddy Baker's Charger, well, there's probably a guy in Ohio that has one, that sort of thing. So we've been very fortunate to, actually know a lot of the old drivers and their families and all that, develop, relationships with them. And it just kind of you just start getting on the phone and start making calls, and 99% of the time we end up with what we're looking for.
Wow, that's pretty interesting.
So how often do you change the displays in the Hall of Fame?
Good question. We have what we call the Glory Road, which is a big ramp that it holds 18 race cars, and it starts on the ground floor and it winds all the way around to the second floor, and it starts at 0 degrees of banking, and it gradually winds around to 33 degrees of banking. Now that replicates every turn in NASCAR, and then we're able to put 18 cars on that Glory Road, and we change that out about every 3 years because it's pretty expensive and very, very time consuming. We have to shut the hall down for about a week to change those cars out. So we do that every 3 years. We have major exhibits in our Great Hall, which is kind of like our Times Square of the building. We change that out twice a year, usually in conjunction with the races at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So when the fans come back into town, they have a reason to come back to see us. The Hall of Honor is changed every year when we bring the new inductees in. And then we're always updating things like that in our Race Week experience, which is everything that, every experience that a crew member or a driver goes through from the time they leave the shop till they get to the track and they run the race. Very hands-on, great stuff for kids, too, a lot of stuff for the kids to do. Then up on the top floor, we call Heritage Speedway, which is all the artifacts, the trophies and the helmets and the fire suits and all that, covering the entire history of the sport. And we just got done totally redoing that entire floor, bringing in 350 new artifacts. We did that last July. So that's pretty well in place for the next few years. But you'll never come twice and see the same thing. I will guarantee that you'll see something new every time you come to the hall.
Now, with the new inductees coming in next Friday, do you have vehicles for these people going to be? I know Curtis Turner's car is coming there. I know that for a fact.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, will you have cars for everybody? And
yeah, what we do. Let's see. For Terry Labonte, we have his 1996 championship Monte Carlo. In fact, it belonged to him and personally, and he just delivered it yesterday. For Bobby Isaac, we have his 68 Dodge Charger that he won all those races with in 1968 through 1970. For Jerry Cook, the modified driver, Ray Evernham built an exact replica of Jerry's old 37 Chevy modified with a big block with the injectors. It is awesome. And let's see, who else do we have there? We got, Curtis Turner. We have the 56 Ford convertible, which I've been dying to get a convertible in that building since the place was built. And we finally have a convertible in there. Curtis was the winningest convertible division driver in history. And then for Bruton Smith, he wasn't really a driver. We have something kind of special planned. And I'm not even 100% sure what it is, but my boss knows.
So when these things are switched out over the years, I mean, every 3 years you said you switched up. Where do these things go at that point? Back to their owners, or they go somewhere else to be shown, or whatever?
Yeah, well, we don't own a lot of stuff ourselves as far as the hall itself. About 95 to 98% of everything on display at any given time is on loan from people. Now, there have been like Fred Lorenzen's family. They donated his whole collection to us. And there have been some really neat deals like that where we've got complete collections from folks. We do take donations of items, but they have to be kind of specific. Like maybe driver used stuff or one of a kind stuff, or it's hard for us to get things like sets of cards or die cast or something like that. We're looking for something a little bit more specific. So we will consider. Absolutely, we'll consider anything that folks will offer us. But there's a board of artifact folks that will make the final decision on what we actually bring in, and we don't want to bring stuff in just to have it. We want to be sure that we have a place to put it and a reason to show it. So otherwise it might be better used by another facility.
Well, you've been there from the inception. You from everything that's going on there. What is one of the things that you yourself is probably one of the things that you really enjoyed, or it was something really important to you that you got to see come through there?
Oh gosh, yes. There's things that have come through that I've only read about or dreamed about and never thought I'd ever get to see. But the one, I think the most interesting thing that I've found since we've been doing this is a Fireball Roberts jacket. Fireball was he's one of our inductees, and he was arguably the biggest name in the sport back in his day. He was kind of like the Earnhardt of his day. And he's a guy who really helped NASCAR go nationwide. I mean, people that didn't even know much about racing knew the name Fireball Roberts. So we were good friends of his fiancée, Judy. They were getting ready to get married when he had his accident, and he ultimately passed away. And then after he died, she took all his stuff and packed it away, and except for this jacket. It was a big Autolite jacket, beautiful, kind of it was a kind of a red with black leather sleeves, and his name was embroidered on it. It was really cool. And so we had gone up to see her early on when we were building the hall, and she said, I got a lot of Glenn's stuff. He never called him Fireball. He hated the name Fireball. So you had to call him Glenn. She said, got some Glenn's stuff here. We thought you might like to take a look at it. So we went up and took a look, and it was nice. There were the usual things. There was a helmet there and some other cool pictures and scrapbooks. But then she opened up this one box, and she pulled that jacket out, and whoa! I mean, the hair on the back of my neck stood up because I had seen him in that jacket a lot through pictures. Mm-hmm. And what was so interesting, he last wore that jacket in April of '64 at Atlanta, and everything was still in the pockets. So it was incredible. His cigarette lighter, half a bag of Juicy Fruit gum, a button from like a button that you put on a jacket from Atlanta, a signed pit credential. And it was like a time capsule. So to me, that was the coolest thing that we ever found in all the time that I've been doing this.
How much when these people get inducted into the hall? I mean, you know they're the legends of the sport. How much time do they come around and spend giving you things, or spend time there at the hall looking at the stuff that they've got there?
Yeah, well, it all depends on where they're located. If they're fairly close by, they'll come in several times a year. Other folks, like with Richie Evans' family, most of them lived in New York, so it's tough for them to get back down. But what we do is we try to catch them early on, right after the people are voted in, and we have that time from May until January, and it gives us that much time to locate photographs, to gather all the information about the driver, to write biographies, and to find the artifacts and get them shipped to the hall, because every artifact has a separate mount that has to be made, and we have to design the hall to see, or the case to see how many pieces we're going to use and how it's going to be designed, and you have to make sure that it's aesthetically pleasing and it's got a nice flow to it. And then if there's anything missing, we have to go out and find a third party that might have something of that particular inductee that we can add to the case. So it takes every bit of time from May until January to put that whole thing together.
Well, we appreciate your time tonight, being with us and giving us a little insight. We can't wait to get to the hall next week, and I tell you, I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for me, and it's for all the reasons in the world that Curtis is going into the hall. But I can't wait to get there, and I hope we get a chance to meet you while we're down there. Yeah.
Oh, I'll guarantee it. I'll be looking you guys up, and I thank you so much for the time that you allowed us tonight, and I'll definitely be hooking up with you next week, okay?
Okay, man, we appreciate that, and we'll talk to you then.
Okay, take care.
All right, you too.
I was just getting ready to tell him that I'll be with the big guy. He'll have no problem finding us.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. I was
I'm
waiting
on
for
down
that.
there now. Shoot.
Yeah, it's gonna be a cool deal.
I can't wait. It's gonna be really interesting to be a part of that. And of course, we got a. The cool thing is we got a special invitation to be a part of that, and that's really cool. And I don't know. As the time gets closer, the more excited I'm getting about it because I can't wait to get there.
Yeah, I want to find. I didn't find it. I've only been there once, but I want to find the section where they have all the stuff that they caught people cheating with and posted. I think that's just the innovative stuff that people tried to get by with. Is to me, it's pretty cool. What do you use in the arena car? Because I'll come back if I can find something good.
I got a little nitro can over there. The thing is just a water bottle up in there for the rain.
That's it. I used to work for Barry, and he went down to some class in Florida. It was a driving school, and I can't remember the guy's name. And he had a set of gloves and a helmet that weighed 75 pounds. He would put in the car for qualify to go through the scales, and then one of his crew members would come over and all that stuff back to his thing. I was like, I can't imagine how awkward that'd be walking. It must have been a big guy, you know, because I mean.
So don't tell everybody what you're doing.
It won't stay a secret.
It's amazing how you can put a water bottle in your car, and somebody will think there's something going on there.
You should do it just for the hell
Because
of it now.
I ain't gonna go that story because if I tell that story, this one over here will jump all over it. I ain't gonna tell.
Did you get caught cheating?
No. But you know, we only run 25 lap mini stock races at Southampton. And I put a water bottle in my car, one of them great big ones, and had a look.
The keyword there is caught. The keyword is caught.
But look, had a.
Were you wore out after 25 laps or 10 laps?
I didn't even use it.
But he was big time.
But I had the hose coming across there, and I made it look like it was something, you know. I had it hooked all around, and you don't know how many people come and looked at that to see what I had in there.
0, 9, 3, 5, 4.
Welcome to Jack Dodsons Racing Insider News with Scott Allen, and glad to have you with us tonight, Mr. Davis.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you down in your neck of the woods?
Man, we're doing great down here. A little cold, but, you know, it's okay. It's wintertime.
Now, I love that neck of woods, the Gaffney, Spartanburg, all down through. I love that area.
Yes, sir. It's a great place to be from, just like where you're from, but I'm kind of partial to this area since I was born and raised here, been here all my life, so I really enjoy it. Wouldn't want to call any other area home, and there's a lot of good places in the world to live, though, but we've made a lot of good friends traveling across the world. Really enjoy this life.
So is the race shop down there?
Yes, sir. Race shop is actually 2/10 of a mile from my house.
That's and I know you know Kyle Lucart or Lucy Lucart.
Yes, sir.
He's a good buddy of mine, and I know he worked for you at one time, and he took me down to show me the shop.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir. Kyle's a good friend, was a good worker, and we're glad that we was a stepping stone in Kyle's career, and he's moved on to bigger and better things. And you know, everybody has ambitions of being in the Cup Garage one day, and he's there, and we're proud for him.
You know, it's amazing to me. I'm sitting here thinking about it now, that from that area down there, Kyle and a whole bunch of the guys that work with James Finch down there at Phoenix, they have moved on into the other parts of the sport and are very successful because they got their roots from guys like you and James Finch.
Yeah. Yes, sir. And you know, it's like I've told some people I've interviewed here in the past. I know that there's bigger and better things out there than our team, although I love what we do and I wouldn't change any way we do things. And I know there's going to be opportunities to come along, but we're going to teach you how to be in the business, how to do good work, be respectful to other people, and how to move on and make a good career. And you know, we just don't have ambitions to be in the Cup Garage with the dollar amounts we're able to attract. It's just not feasible. So we're going to bring a lot of people into the sport, and a lot more people's going to come through our deal. It's kind of like going to college, but we're paying you to go.
Now, last year you had 3 teams last year, and you seem like you had some good runs off and on during the year. Your team seems to be moving in the right direction. What do you have planned for 2016?
Well, for 2016, for sure, Ross is back. We're working on our other 2 drivers right now, line up for the 01 and the 0 car. Can't really just expose a lot of what's going on, but some real exciting things are happening. Of course, Harrison will be in the 0 car, you know, for sure at a partial schedule, but we're working on some things with some sponsors to get him in that thing full time. Not sure that we'll get that done, but we'd like to have Harrison back. He's done us a good job. Not 100% sure what Landon's going to do yet. We're still talking there for him on the 01 with some other drivers also. So I think we have some real interesting things, but we're probably a week away from really announcing what our future holds in store, but I really believe it to be something that's going to continue to help us climb up the ladder of success in the sport of automobile racing with NASCAR.
So how do you go about determining who you're going to put in the race car? Because the business has changed so much over the last few years.
We'll start with, we have some good partners in G&K, Flex Seal, some fine people out of Iron Source in Dover, Delaware, which is up in your neck of the woods a little bit. And, you know, when something comes up to what Landon's faced against and we don't know 100% what his direction can be or can't be, and we have to start looking at other people, then we have to start running them by our sponsors too and our marketing partners and be sure they're a good fit for their business as well as good drivers. So, you know, you got to be well-rounded anymore to be a race car driver. You got to be educated. You've got to be able to deal with the public and be able to do things for our marketing partners to go out in the field and represent everybody well. It's no longer just about your talent of driving a race car, although that plays into it. But you got to do a lot of other things anymore. There's so many sponsor obligations to drivers anymore.
Well, down in that neck of the woods, down in the south, you know, you're not right in the mecca of Charlotte, but you're close enough. How hard is it for you to get people to come there to work with you and you know, be able to keep them there for a long term?
Yeah, we've been pretty successful in getting some people that have been with us for a long time. I mean, I've got some people there that have over 7-8 year relationship with my race team and being there with Gary Keller and myself, you know. So, you know, it's difficult at times, but when times are really bad, it also allows us to shine better as a race team and people see us continue to be there with less. And these people come and go to work for us because we're there and we're going to be there continuously throughout the years.
Now, Johnny, how did you get started into racing?
Actually, my dad drag raced and fiddled around in that era. I mean, I go back to remembering going to drag strips when the drag strips were dirt and watching my father race, and it was just kind of boring. My mother's people had junkyards. Her dad had junkyards and garages, and it's always been around cars. And, you know, I got pictures back to the year I was born of racetracks and things that my families were involved with, my mother's side and my father's side. So I really don't know anything else but cars. You know, I've been a gearhead all my life.
So down there with the things in Gaffney and your team, do you have any alliances that you work with another team, or are you solely doing it all on your own?
We're solely on our own. We don't have any alliances with anyone. So, you know, we do a pretty good job for being 100% independent in the Xfinity Series with no ties to any cup teams or anything like that. I mean, Mark Smith's done engine. Clements has done engine for us. Tony Clements, which his son races in our series too. And, you know, we've bought some engines from ECR over the years that were older stuff. SB2 engines. We still run a fair amount of SB2 engines in our cars and have good success with them. And, you know, we're just looking continuously for better marketing partners, or not that our partners are bad, our partners are great, but partners that can spend more money and get better exposure and buy newer quality or engine parts and some better cars. You know, we got some good stuff, but there's always better out there, without a doubt, in our business.
With as much as it costs to race nowadays, how are y'all able to keep finding marketing associates for your race for your drivers, how young they are?
I mean, we got 4 people constantly looking for money for our race teams.
and that's their day-to-day job, is to find us money, and they do a pretty good job. I mean, we'll start the season off. Our calendar of marketing partners won't be that full, but they'll fill in all the blanks. I was actually looking at this year's numbers, and there was only 4 races we went to the racetrack without something on the quarter panels of that race car. So out of 3 teams, that's pretty good to have started the season off and not have but 10 total races sold when we started off and went to Daytona.
That's really good.
So have you got your cars ready for Daytona and ready to go, with some of the things they've got going on? Are you ready to go for Daytona?
We're really close. Daytona cars are all sitting there rolling in primer, just trying to put the finishing touches on them and get the right colors on them to correspond with the marketing partners we're working with to go to that event. So they're really close.
Now,
Engines are in-house for Daytona right now, so we're working on some chassis work right now, working with the bump stop stuff on our pull-down rig with the Atlanta car right now. So we're getting pretty good out there on stuff being ready.
So with the upcoming season, there was a lot of talk about in the Xfinity series. They were talking about going to like a chase format in there. How do you feel about the chase format coming to the Xfinity series?
Man, I like it. I mean, I like competition. I like it coming down to the end and everybody really having to work hard. And I think we can actually have 2 drivers in the top 12 in points at the end of the year for the chase format next year. And I'm really, really excited about that.
That sounds like it does sound like a good thing to have all of them doing it together. So. Yeah. With that, what are some of the things that that you've seen going on the last couple of years that you would like to see some things change as far as the Xfinity series? I know a lot of people are complaining about the Cup drivers going over to drive the Xfinity cars. What are some of the things you would think would be a good idea to change if you had a chance?
Well, that's a good question and a hard one to answer because there's so many things and so many different opinions, and you're never going to hit it right. And NASCAR does a wonderful job of making it a pretty even playing field. They communicate with me as much as they do Joe Gibbs' organization about rules and going forward and trying to make everything good and equal across the board. As to what I'd really like to see change, I'd like to see some rules in the engine department to where it's not a spec engine but spec parts with 4 or 5 manufacturers having to make the parts so that it isn't tied to one manufacturer so they can control a price and keep competitiveness in manufacturers. I'd like to see all the parts that are ran in the Xfinity series to be like where some kind of group of racing people can make the parts and all the parts are readily available to all the race teams. There's the Gibbs and the Cup teams, they got hand-me-down parts from those teams, and I keep referring to them Childers, Hendricks, everybody does it. It's better parts than we can go buy. They just won't sell them. They'll grind those parts up when they're done with them in the end and cycle them through their Cup cars and their Xfinity cars. And I think our series could stand on its own and have its own identity to parts in those respects. And I'm talking hubs, some of the things they do have control of and some they just can't get a control of, and it's hard to do. But those are a few things I'd like to see that it would drive up their cost a little bit but cut ours down a little bit, or not change it but make competition a little bit better, I think.
I believe so too.
Yeah, it's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
Well, Johnny, we appreciate your time tonight. I know you're a busy man getting ready for the season to get started. We really appreciate what time you spent with us tonight, and it's really great to have you on. And I really enjoy watching your cars go, and I'm a big Landon Castle fan, in case you didn't know. But
well, he's a great guy, and we really enjoy him being a part of our organization, and we look for many good things to come to our organization in the future. And thank you guys for having me on your show tonight, and willing to do that for you anytime you want me to be on there, and honored to be on there. And God bless everybody out here, and let's go have a successful, great 2016 season, guys.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, and we'll talk to you later, and hopefully we'll get you back on here real soon.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right.
Have a good night.
You too, man.
Bye.
I mean, those guys have done a lot with a little.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of an understatement.
Yeah. To possibly run 4 cars out of that shop. They ran 4 at some races last year, and that's.
Well, Landon's.
Chastain.
Yeah. I mean,
Mike Wallace drove the car for a while.
Yeah. Earnhardt boy, Jeffrey Earnhardt.
Yeah, Jeffrey Earnhardt drove it for a little while, but I mean nothing.
But they don't have anything. But I mean, they're there every week, and I don't know how he does it. Because I don't know what he does for a living.
And that's it.
This is what he does for a living.
This is his life, and they come to the racetrack. The cars are prepared. They look decent. I mean, they're not junk when they come to the racetrack. So I mean, he's got a good operation. So anyway,
they're fairly competitive usually.
Yeah, I mean for what they have.
Yeah.
I mean
you look
against the damn
Mike Wallace and Landon Castle. You put them on a super speedway.
Yeah, they did really well.
And they could, in their cars, even with those cars, they were right up front.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just the way it is.
I think Landon Castle is a great driver if he can get a good shot.
Mm-hmm.
Landon needs to have a situation to where he can get in a good car and have a good people around him, because he's been in.
Well, he had a shot.
He had the Hendrick car, but in the Hendrick deal, and that didn't work out because of sponsorship and all this other stuff. That kind of fizzled, and then he went over to James Finch and started driving for Finch, and we all know what the situation is there with Finch. But he finished second or third at Daytona in a Finch car, pushing Tony Stewart to the win in the Xfinity Series.
Yeah.
And so he's got the talent to do it.
Was that in Finch's car?
That was in Finch's car. I was there. That was a big deal for him to finish third in that car. And Tony Stewart,
he did a lot of the testing for
Hendrick.
Yeah,
he did
for
all
Jimmy Johnson for a lot of his championships. Yeah. So
I think put him in a junior motorsports Xfinity car, see what he can do.
Well, he had a ride there for a little while.
He did run that car a couple times. Yeah, he was there for a little while.
It's just sponsorship. I mean, anymore it's just ain't no matter how good you are.
That's
it's how good your sponsor is.
Yeah. I mean, you look at junior motorsports now, and I'm not saying nothing bad about Elliott Sadler and Justin Allgaier, but the only reason they're in that car this next year is because they came with money.
Yeah.
So that's all it is to it. When you come with money, you can drive one. And your dad won't even, he might let you go too. Now your mom may have a problem. Your mom
You
might
can probably
not
get
make
you a
it.
set of tires for that. I don't know about no Xfinity car.
All right, do you have any sponsors, anything you want to thank?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta think of my dad and my mom, especially my dad's company, John Testerman Plumbing, and I think everyone.
So if it don't go down, call John.
Yeah, and I gotta thank for the dirt car. I gotta thank everyone from the Cobbs Creek crew and all of them, and I gotta thank John Stain. I gotta thank Manny Britt Motorsports, and for the arena car, I gotta thank John, Justin, my dad, my mom still all there. My dad's not around me as much as he used to be with the arena car. He's actually helping another team out, so he's just there to keep me under control, make sure I don't get into too much trouble, especially if I get in trouble with another driver.
Wait a minute now, hold on. That's the first I've heard of that.
What?
That he was working with another team.
Yeah.
Well, if I'd known he was available.
So that's the first I've heard of that. So the point, evidently to me, now I could be wrong. We're getting ready to go off the air, so you can just think about it. But it seems like to me he said, I'm done with that.
Yeah.
He went somewhere else.
I think he just figured he'd get more qualified people.
I mean, I got a lot of people from me. I got Aaron. He used to help Travis Wall when he won his championship. He's a real great help. I mean, he's all around, knows everything about the car, and just big help. And again, Justin, John, and Nate. He's real good. I've never met him until this year, and he's been a big help. You know, I love his personality. I love hanging out with him, going out to dinner with him, just getting to know him and all that. And he's real smart with what to do with the car, tire wise, air pressure, stagger, and I just can't think.
Now, girls ain't gonna start getting interfering with the racing yet, are they?
A little bit, you know, but it's just with the flow. That's my motto. Just go with the flow.
You gotta find a racing girl. See, combine both.
Yeah, that's what I gotta do. You know, my girlfriend's gotta love racing. You know, she's gonna come to the races. She's gonna be my trophy
do we
girl.
do we have one or?
Well, this thing sure has turned.
You know, I'm only 16, so I mean,
you gotta wait for
down
me.
Quite yet. Hoping her new watching.
I was wondering what his name was.
Oh.
I'm not even gonna get. I'm just gonna leave this one alone. We went from racing to that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I still gotta think. I haven't been doing go-karts much lately. I think I've only ran like 3 or 4 races this past year. But just me getting started in racing, making me love it more, putting me up front, the O'Connors, and all of them. I mean, everyone I'm with that helps me. I just love hanging out with them outside of the track. You know, they're like my family, and I just love hanging out with them, love racing with them, and it's just a fun time. You know, I'm having fun doing this.
Did you love hanging out with Scott?
Dude, that was his best time he had.
Yeah, I mean, we picked on each other a lot. We had a lot of fun at arena racing, you know. And I remember I used to always make him mad after the A main, and if I was in the A main and if he was in the B main, I'm off track and B main's out there, and I hear him walking. I was like, wait, B main's still out there, isn't it? What you do this early?
For whatever reason, it would be stacked. Either I'd be in A main. If one of us was in A main, the other one was going to be in the B
I remember
main.
he was talking so smack to me one time. I was like, I'll wreck you, even though I'm not in the same race as you. I came across the infield and smacked you. I told you I would.
We would talk trash.
You know,
But that's like 3/4 of the fun.
I honestly believe you had
But
trouble
the
with a lot of
bastards
folks.
got better than me, though.
Yeah, sponsorship right there. What was it?
Johnny Rockets.
Johnny Rockets. He came in with a bunch of milkshakes. Ask him every time, where's mine? Never got a milkshake.
You and everybody else was asking.
And
And then they didn't make them all the time. Every time, like, milk is the.
that's actually a thing I cannot eat or anything like that. And like maybe in the morning before all the races.
Yeah.
But
We gotta get out of bed before you do that.
You gotta get up on time.
Well, that's why I waited until after a race and I didn't run the top
usually
dog.
wakes me
'Cause
up,
you can't eat. You can't eat in the
Yeah, I
middle.
usually get up, get in the shower, fall back to sleep in the shower, hear the knocking, get up, go back, sleep in the truck, and get up, get all my stuff situated, go back to sleep at the track.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you a question. Now, on race day, do they have to get you out of bed on race day to go to the race?
They had to get me up on Christmas.
Boy, this man loves to sleep.
I mean, sleep is everything to me. That's a way of life.
I can tell you the race car driver an owl.
I'm confused because
That's why I'm scared to be in a B-main, because I'll fall asleep in the car.
It is kind of nice, though.
It is, yes. Unless you have to go to the bathroom. That's the only bad thing. And I like to get out, you know, after the day, man, I like to get out, go hang out with some good-looking girls. And that's...
Yeah, this started off as a racing conversation.
we're
Now
kind
it's
of
turning
losing
into
it here.
So, what is your plan after high school? Do you know what you want to do?
I actually want to. I most likely go to Radford, Virginia Tech, either to study forensics. I've actually looked into being like a historian. I'm not quite sure what kind of jobs I want to do with history, but and also engineering. It's I really like. I haven't been out, and I'm not the type of person to go out in the garage like. You know, I will.
It'll interfere with your sleep.
I know. What were you? What were you trying to go find?
Pardon me?
What did Jason send you? Oh, the
the
Skyhook.
Skyhook.
Yeah. I mean, anybody can't find a Skyhook. I mean, obviously, don't need to be working on the race car.
Yeah, but I like to study like something like forensics or history. You know, I really like history. It's one of my favorite subjects. I used to be math was my favorite subject. Kind of got a little burnt out on it after being 2 grades ahead in math. You know, I'm taking college math right now.
He don't talk trash.
Just threw that right in there. Being 2 grades ahead.
He's not a smart ass at all.
He's 2 grades ahead, and I was just barely keeping up.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really tough on me. I'm taking 5 college
Oh, I'm
classes.
sorry.
5 college classes out of the 7 I take, and it's only my junior year, so I'm gonna take. Hopefully, I can graduate with my associate's degree from high school and be a junior in college.
I didn't even make it through high school.
Well, I barely made it through high school.
But
You know what they told me in high school? I got ready to graduate. They said, you didn't take a foreign language. And then they looked back and said, oh, yeah, you did take English.
I'm done with Spanish. I took 3 years of Spanish. I had a better grade in Spanish than English somehow.
So
That
so
says
what
one
is
I'm not gonna
your
say he's a smart
plans when you go to school? Are you still going to race, or how is that going to work? Or are you going to put it up for a while? Or
I plan to race, but if racing comes in the way of education for me, I really want to focus on education because I want to have a fallback.
Sure.
I love racing, and I've done it since I was 5. But I really it's time to grow up. Hopefully I can keep racing throughout my life and hopefully make it somewhere. But if it has to, studies will come first, then racing. But hopefully I can maintain both of them at the same time.
I'm not going to say anything, but when you said that, a lot of people started looking around. I started looking up, making sure there won't no lightning coming through here.
that's probably one of the smartest things I've heard
really.
you say. And to be honest, only there's so many people make it, and we all all wish we could all make it, but you got to have an education.
My dad taught me the main thing why we're doing this is to have fun. If you're not having fun, there's no point in doing this.
Quit.
Absolutely.
And I've had fun since day one, and I still am having fun. Of course, I get a little frustrated after a race, but that's almost everyone that races. If not, you're doing something
And
wrong.
how you handle it, not hit people
Yeah,
and kick cars. And because there's people I know have gone around backwards
Yeah,
on
don't
track
kick
and
the
a
car.
I'll tell you what, after a race, you're as cool as the other side of the pillow. I don't see anything out of you. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
see any frustration. Nah.
You never race winning.
It has been a pretty successful year so far. Second in points, about 11 points behind Cody. I have a solid second over Connor and Cullen, or third and fourth, I believe. And it's kind of hard because they're all on a team. It's me versus them, and I love it when Scott comes in, and especially when Travis. I want
Mixes
some
it
space
up.
between. Yeah, because I want to try to get ahead of Cody, but I want a car in between us, not just first and second. That's going to take a long time to catch back up to him.
Right.
I just got to work, stay out of wrecks, keep my
Well, I
eyes
mean,
out
and
of
Cody
it.
wants him to come back too, because I mean, he had made the comment to us that it's not that winning's not fun, but it's kind of boring. And he said, when Scott came back the first time, that was the most fun he's had in a long time because it's just not, it's just too easy.
It's kind of like making me a little mad that I can run the fastest lap of the race. It's just I need to keep it consistently because I can run a 7.8, 7.8, 8.0 back to 7.8, and that's so much loss because maybe I might have a hundredth on him. That's so long to catch back up to him.
Right.
And I get lucky when they make a mistake.
Right.
It's real luck for me, and I got to capitalize on that. Be able to capitalize it. I can't. That's where. And also, Cody could get through lap traffic a little better than I did, quicker. And that's one thing I gotta learn, and hopefully I'll get
Yeah,
that
him
done.
and Scott, some reason, I mean, they can come through traffic.
And that's the scary part, because I noticed same thing. Dylan Lovin, fast car, he had trouble with lap cars all year long, going to the rear because he got caught up in a wreck with them.
Well, he was kind of a loose. I mean,
I love
Dylan.
him.
Yeah, I do too.
I grew
And he's
up
fun
with
to
him.
watch. I mean, he is. I loved it when he wrecked Scott that one time, and those two went at it because he doesn't care, and that's half of his problem because he doesn't care.
Yeah, and I grew up with him. I love Bubba. I miss him,
Yeah.
And I haven't seen Dylan in a while lately, but I haven't heard what he's doing with racing and all that. But I knew he was going to get back into go-karts from what I heard. But I haven't heard from him in a while. And I was hoping I could see him at arena races this year, but I haven't seen him at all.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely can drive.
Yeah, I know. What's his name that has his ride now? He actually is doing really good. He won a B main last race.
Brad Davis?
Yeah, Brad Davis. Brad Davis is in that ride now, and I've known Brad Davis for a while. Both of them, they're brothers, and they're real cool guys. And I like talking to them, and I actually joking around with him with the beard and all that, trying to keep it warm and all. So, yeah, they're real fun guys to talk to, and it's all about the family around there, getting to know everyone and trying to. I want to be friends with everyone out there. I don't want to have to look by someone without talking to them. I don't want to have.
You don't want to be like Scott.
Everybody talks to me.
And the hardest thing to do is admit you're wrong. Admit to your mistakes.
There we go. You just explained him.
I don't have a problem admitting.
All right, well, that's tonight's show. Appreciate you being here tonight with us.
Thank you.
we'll get you back sometime. Hopefully, we'll get you back down here.
Oh yeah.
And I'll say good luck to you. And it's been fun watching you. Because the last 4 or 5 years, you've came from a little kid to a semi-adult, not yet, but semi. And it's been fun to watch you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't thank Jason enough. He's taught me everything, Scott. I never need help, just go to them and. Oh, and yeah, my mom and dad. I would never have done these. It was actually my dad's idea to do these. I used to come here and watch, and my favorite driver is Jordan Wood. I wanted to drive these. I just never thought I would. I thought if I ever moved out of go-karts, it would be something else. And I'm glad it was this, and I learned a lot from it. It was my first thing ever not on dirt.
Right.
Still is my only thing I haven't done on dirt. So don't get me wrong, I love late models, and that's what I want to do if I get bigger. Is maybe drive for like Clint Boyer or something like that, because I watched the big race at Saluda, and I just love seeing all the teams, and I didn't realize they took it that seriously. Stackers.
Oh yeah.
And,
you don't think so, but you roll up there and you think you're in the
can
cup garage with a little car.
Look at all that equipment they bring with them too. They're dead serious.
And I love it seeing Chris Ferguson. He has a trailer and a truck, and he can run right up there with them. And I love. That's probably my favorite driver is either Chris Madden or Chris Ferguson. And I love watching them, and it's a real good show. They always put a good show out.
Yeah.
No matter what track it is, you can look it up on YouTube. Watch a track in Idaho or something like that.
Do you do any online stuff?
Well, no. I do a lot of video games, but not really racing that much. I used to play NASCAR a lot, but I haven't recently. Yeah. So I really want to get on iRacing, something like that. But I haven't. I think I have a steering wheel somewhere at the house. So.
Yeah, that takes some investment
You
to
got
get
these
to
guys
start
with
iRacing.
cockpits out there doing iRacing.
You can go to another arena car.
Oh, we have 3, 2. I don't know.
Oh, why didn't you tell me?
2.
Two.
We're selling one. Yeah.
2.
Yeah, but if anyone comes out to the arena race, there's one for sale. So.
Do you need a teammate? Does it come with
maybe
sponsorship?
Maybe at the end of the year for some blocking.
Some blocking.
Hey, just go back and take Cody out. Yeah. So.
All right, well, that's tonight's show. We appreciate everybody watching and being here, and we appreciate the Testamans being here with us tonight.
And bringing us some food.
And I wasn't going to bring that up on the camera.
I think everybody knows Mama Testament can cook.
Well, I mean, that's
all I hear when Jason says, you know, Mama Testament can cook.
I know, that's what you told me. And I sent her a message. The next thing I know, we're eating. I was just sitting there because you said something about it.
I was just telling what the rumor is.
Maybe we could start a prerequisite. If you come to the show, you got to bring something with you.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate it. We'll see you next week.